Morning and welcome to this Monday morning session of Yog Online. Sit cross-legged or any comfortable posture that suits you. Roll the shoulders back, open the chest. Keep the abdomen soft, keep the face soft. Gently lift the sides of the tongue. Take the arms out to the side. Turn the palms to face up. Extend your wrists away from each other, opening the chest. Breathing in, raise up the arms. Feel that there is a straight line running from the hip to the armpit and from the armpit to the wrist. Breathe in, extend the trunk. Breathe out and soften the abdomen. Join your palms together. Join your fingers together. And as you breathe out, release your fingers to the chest with the thumb touching the sternum. Roll the shoulders back. Just keep the abdomen soft. With your eyes closed, focus on the breath. Begin by chanting Om 3 times. Take a slow, deep breath in. Your hands, open your eyes, roll the shoulders back. Pin your thighs, pin your groins, place your fingertips on the floor and lift the trunk. Extend the trunk away from your thighs. Keep the thighs firm. Interlock your fingers in front of you, rotate at the wrist, turn the palms away from you. Breathe in to raise up the arms. Stretch the armpits, soften the abdomen. Lift the armpits, lift the wrist. Keep the palms stretched, keep the abdomen soft. Keep stretching up the trunk. Lift the sides of the trunk. Keep the thighs firm. Breathe out and release your hands. Change the bind of your interlock. Rotate at the wrist, turn the palms away from you. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Upper arms in line with the ear, soften the abdomen. Stretch the armpit. Lift the elbows. Lift the wrist. Keep the softness of the abdomen. Keep the firmness of the legs as you stretch the trunk up. Each time you breathe in, stretch the trunk. Each time you breathe out, soften the abdomen. Slightly behind your hip, roll the shoulders back and keep a distance from your ears and the shoulders. Broaden across the chest, keep the abdomen soft. Maintain this extension of the sides of the trunk. Breathing in, raise up the head, take the head all the way back. And as you breathe out, draw the chin to the chest. Back. Breathing out, draw the chin to the chest. Raise up your head. A gentle morning twist. Take your right hand behind you. Take your left hand over the right knee. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, move your sternum, move the navel, move the chin. Each time you breathe out, soften the abdomen and twist a little more. Slowly release the twist. Let's change sides. Take your left hand behind you. Take your right hand over the left knee. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, move the navel, move the shoulder blades, and move the chin. Time you breathe out, twist a little more. Release. Roll the shoulders back. Place your fingertips on the floor and stretch out your legs. Stretch out your legs with your heels away from you and your toes towards you. Pin your thighs down, pin the backs of the knees down. Interlock your fingers once more, rotate at the wrist, turn the palms away from you. Keep the legs engaged as you breathe in and raise up the arm. Stretch the armpits away from the floor. Pin your thighs down. Lift the trunk. Stretch the arms. Keep the softness of the abdomen. Engage your legs. Push them back. Breathe out and release your hands. Fold your legs in and come to stand. Stand with the feet hip-width apart and see that the outer edges of your feet are parallel to each other. Roll the shoulders back. Take the arms slightly behind you. Keep the abdomen soft. Broaden across the chest. Extend the arms down. Lift all 10 toes off the floor. Spread them, stretch them as you release them to the floor. Feel that there's maximum contact with each toe and the floor. And lift your heel and stretch it away from the toes. So the entire underfoot is gripped to the floor. Thighs back like you did when you're sitting down. Roll the shoulders back. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Upper arms in line with the ear. Push your thighs back. Press your feet down and lift the side of the trunk once more. Feel the extension of the side of the trunk. Your feet are pressing down. Your thighs are pushing back. The armpits are stretching. The elbows are stretching. The wrists are lifting. And the middle finger is reaching for the ceiling. Feel the full stretch of the side of the body, the back of the body, and the front of the body. Breathe out and release your hands. One more time. Breathe in, raise up your arms. Upper arm in line with the ear. Press your feet down. Push your thighs back. Soften the abdomen. Stretch the armpit. Lift the elbow. Lift the wrist. Keep pressing the feet down, pushing the thighs back and extending the trunk. Maintain the extension of the trunk and the firmness of the legs. Breathe out and release your hands. Interlock your fingers in front of you, rotate at the wrist, turn the palms away from you. Keep the arms stretched. Keep the arms there, don't lift yet. Now focus on your feet. Press your feet down. Push your thighs back. Soften the abdomen. Breathing in, raise up the arms, upper arms in line with the ear. Now press your feet down. Push your thighs back. Soften the abdomen. Stretch the armpit. Lift the elbow. Lift the wrist. Stretch of the body as you press your feet down, pushing your thighs back to give you firmness in the legs. Feel the backs of the legs stretch. Now, breathe in, lift the heels, a full stretch. Maintain the height of the armpits. And as you breathe out, stretch the backs of the legs and release the heels to the floor. One more time, breathe in and lift. Height of the armpits, breathe out and release your heels. Feel the stretch at the back of the body as well. Breathing in. Breathe out and release. Release your hands. Change the bind of your interlock once more. Rotate at the wrist. Turn the palms away from you. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Stretch the armpit. Lift the elbows, lift the wrist, soften the abdomen, press your feet back, push your thighs back, and as you press the feet down, lift the trunk, lift the knees, lift the hip. Breathing in, lift the heels, and as you breathe out, maintain the height of the armpit and release your knees. Breathe. Breathe out and release the heels. Last one, breathe in to lift. Out and release. Release your arms out to the side, roll the shoulders back. Feel the extension of the sides of the trunk, the back body and the front body. Take the arms out to the side once more, turn the palms to face up. Lengthen your wrists away from each other, breathe in and raise up the arm. Palms facing each other. Press your feet down, engage your thighs, push your thighs back. Turn your palms to face forward, stretch the armpit. Now turn your palm to face away from you. Breathe out and release your hands. This is good for the shoulders, maintaining the extension of the side of the trunk as well, and the openness of the chest. Breathe in, raise up the arms, a full stretch. Breathe out and release. Breathe in, turn from the armpit, turn the palms to face forward. Stretch the armpit, lift the elbows, lift the wrist. A full stretch. From here, take the upper arm slightly behind your ear and open the armpit area. Turn the palms away from you. Breathe out and release. One more time, breathe in, raise up the arms. From the armpit, turn the armpit forward, turn the palms to face forward. Now stretch the armpit, at the same time focus on your feet. Press your feet down, lift the side of the trunk. Take the upper arm slightly behind your ear and turn the palms and the armpits away from you. Breathe out and release. Shoulders back. Roll the shoulders back, keep the chest open. Side of the trunk long. Breathing in, raise up the left arm. And keep your right palm on the thigh. Feel the stretch of the left side. Pin your foot down, push your thigh back from the hip to the armpit stretch. As you breathe out, stretch over, leaning to the right and stretching the left side. Maintain this for a few moments. Can you focus on the firmness of the feet and the softness of the abdomen and feel the stretch more on the left side? Breathe in. Release. Change sides. Raise up the right arm. Now put the right foot down, and as you breathe out, slide the left palm down and feel the stretch on the right side. Hold for a few moments, don't hold the breath. Feel the extension of the body on the right side. Keep the navel facing forward and keep the sternum facing forward. Breathe in, raise up the arms. Roll the shoulders back, extend your arms. One more time. Breathe in, raise up the arms. A full extension of the side of the trunk. Soften the abdomen. Press the feet down. Push the thighs back. Lift the armpit area. Don't hold the breath. Each time you breathe in, stretch the trunk away from the hips. Push your thighs back. Now feel the knees lift, feel the hips lift, feel the armpits lift, the elbows, the wrist, and the fingers. Feel that you're becoming taller. Breathe out and release. Up the arms. Turn the palms to face forward. Press your feet down to anchor you. Push your thighs back. Lift the hips. Stretch the armpit. Stretch the palms. Stretch the fingers. Take the upper arm slightly behind the ear. Feel the openness of the chest and reach for the ceiling. Keep pressing your feet down as you lift the hips. Lift the armpits, lift the wrist. Breathe out. So with this extension of the trunk, breathe in, raise up the arms once more, palms facing each other. A full extension of the trunk. And as you breathe out, bend the knees slightly, descend the hip. Now, as you descend the hip, lift the armpits away from the hip. Lift the wrist away from the hip. Breathe in and come. This is known as the chair pose, Utkatasana. It works the ankles, the knees, the hips, the thighs, and the calf muscles as well. We're going to practice together 2 ways. Raise up the arms in line with the shoulders. Keep the palms facing down. Maintain this distance between the hip and the armpit. Breathe in, lift the sides of the trunk. And as you breathe out, descend the knees, descend the hips. Breathe in to come. Now focus on your feet, your thighs, and the extension of the trunk. Breathe in, raise up the arms. Breathe out, bend the knees just as much as you can. Breathe in to come up. Breathe out and release your hands. This time we're going to move a little lower. Breathe in, raise up the arms. And as you breathe out, descend the knees and release the hips as low as you can. Maintain the height of the armpit away from the hips as you swing. Breathe in to come up. Breathe. Place your hands on the hips. So we're now learning the knee action, the thigh action. Keep your feet firm. Breathe in, lift the sides of the trunk. And as you breathe out, bend the knees and descend the hips. Breathe in to come up. Breathe out and go down. A little lower. Breathe in to come up. Breathe out and release your hands. Now raise up the arms once again. Palms facing each other. Lift the sides of the trunk. Lift the armpits away from the hip. That's the extension you want to have. When the hip descends, the trunk lifts up. Breathe in, lift the sides of the trunk, stretch the armpit area. Keep your feet firmly on the floor. Now as you breathe out, bend the knee, focus on the feet being firm, and descend the hips. As the hips descend, lift the trunk. There's an extension of the trunk. Breathe in to come up. Breathe your hands. We're going to the pose for a few moments. If you cannot hold the pose, it's perfectly fine. You can come up and go back down. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Breathe out, bend the knees and release into Utkatasana. It's as if you're sitting on a chair. Focus on your feet being firm. Lift the trunk as you breathe in. Breathe out, descend the hips a little more. Breathe in, lift the trunk. Stay there for a few moments. Breathe in and come up. Breathe out and release. In this pose, it can be a bit of a strong pose. If you need to come up, come up. Breathe in, raise up the arms. A full extension of the side of the trunk. And as you breathe out, bend the knees and release the hips. See that distance, or feel that distance between the hip and the armpit as you descend the hips. Breathe in, lift the trunk. Breathe out, descend the hips. Breathe in, lift the trunk. Breathe out, descend the hips. Breathe in to come up. Breathe. Shoulders back. Roll your shoulders back. Open the chest. Soften the abdomen. Last one, breathe in, raise up the arms. Maintain the extension of the sides of the trunk. Lift the front body, the back body, sides of the trunk. Firm up your feet. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bend the knees, descend the hips. Go down and the trunk moves up. Hold the posture for a few moments. Breathe in to come up. Breathe out and release your hand. Raise up the arms, bend at the elbows. Slightly bend the knees once more and release your trunk onto the thighs. Stretch the elbows down, soften the abdomen and stretch the sides of the trunk. Knees bent, stretch the elbows down, breathe in to come up, breathe out and release your hands. Roll the shoulders back and come to knee. Take your knees as wide as the mat, big toe touching. Maintain this length of the side of the trunk. Put your thighs down, place your fingertips on the floor and lift the armpits away from the hips. Walk your hands forward. The groins are firm, the buttock is firmly on your heels or the support. Walk your hands forward, a full stretch. Move the armpits away from the hips, move the hips away from the arm. The same stretch of the sides of the trunk as you move the buttock back, move the groins back, and move the armpits away. Feel that stretch. Come onto your knees. Draw your knees below the hips, your palms below the shoulders. Walk your hands one palm in front. Tuck your toes under. Now lift the knees and just like Utkatasana, move your hips away from the armpits, move your armpits away from the hips. Feel that length in the sides of the trunk, release the head. The head and face is soft. And feel the buttocks move away from the armpits. Feel the armpits move away from the wrist. Breathe out. Sit back. Sit back, stretch forward, and release your body. Your hands back and come to lie flat on your back. Keep your knees up and your feet flat on the floor. From here, outstretch your arms and lengthen the armpits away from the hips. Feel that stretch. Raise up the arms once more. Bring it to the sides of the trunk. Draw your heels in. Place your feet firmly on the floor. Shift the weight of the body onto the feet and the shoulders. Tuck the lower shoulder blade into the body to open the chest a bit. Now press your feet down. Lift the hips. Breathe out and release. Let the lumbar spine settle, feel the hips settle. Once more, lift the hips. Breathe out and release. Breathe out and release. With both hands, draw both knees in towards your chest. The feet soft. Spine releasing to the floor. Feel the abdomen releasing to the floor. Straighten your right leg. Straighten your left leg. Roll the thighs away from each other. Soften the abdomen. Exhalation. Release point to the floor. Your ankles, your and the wrist. You will find that with this practice, there was more movement of the joints, the ankles, the knees, the hips, and the shoulders. Completely to the mat. Keep the abdomen soft, keep the face. Place both your hands on the abdomen. Raise up your knees one by one, keeping your feet flat on the floor. Abdomen settle and become quiet. Up the right arm all the way past the right shin. Roll over onto your right hand side. Come to sit in a comfortable posture. Tension from the hip to the armpit. Open the chest, roll the shoulders back, and join your palms. Take a slow, long, deep breath in. And as you breathe out, release your chin to the chest. As you breathe in, slowly raise up your head, release your hands, and open your eyes. Have a wonderful day, and we will meet tomorrow. Thank you for joining us.